You mentioned the Catholic faith, and plenty of modern people say that's just superstition. Well, let's all disappear. Yeah! Except me. See? These people are insane. There is a coherent logic to the insanity. Men may long for the restoration of past establishments, for instance the British monarchy or the American Constitution, because each horizontal layer is more Catholic than any horizontal layer following. Unless men return to Catholic order, society is bound to arrive at the supreme disorder, the reign of the Antichrist. And it is a steady downward slide, looked at from the Catholic point of view. Now, looked at from the liberal point of view, then of course the American Revolution is the dawn of liberty. The Protestant Revolution is the great breakthrough. The 19th century is the steady advance of human rights. The 20th century is the glory of technology and freedom. A completely opposite way of looking at it. If you want to establish a peaceful and lawful order, your leaders, whoever they are, whether they're presidents or kings, must respect God and tie themselves to obeying God. As they respect God, so those beneath them will respect them. The criminals are very careful how they handle the people. Even in today's people, there are still elements of health. The American people, it's very clear that there are still elements of health. That's the American panel of the slide of Christendom. As I say, you could do exactly the same thing for England, you could do the same thing for France, you could do the same thing for Germany. You would keep on finding revolutionary establishments sliding downhill and then trying to set up their own substitute. History that will help you to grasp the real story from a Catholic point of view of these last few hundred years is not a handsome story. God allows it. God has infinite wisdom in allowing it. I suggest, if you've never read Miraribos, it's not long and it's not difficult, I suggest that you read it between now and 11 o'clock. Notice the strong language that he's using. The Pope is screaming at the top of his voice as though pornography and abortion are just around the corner. It's as though he could see, just like St. Vincent Ferrier, he can see the future. He can see the horrors coming up. 1832, it was angelic. People were angels in those days compared with today. They're angels, but the Pope is screaming at the top of his voice. Read him. Today in the United States, the whole thing is falling to pieces. When Wall Street falls to pieces and all their savings, their life savings, disappear overnight, they will at least be asking themselves questions. At least. Who can I go and shoot? Maybe the only question that they will ask. Or maybe a few of them will say, is there something wrong with the system? Maybe I shouldn't have been worshipping money after all. Maybe money isn't God. The anger is coiled up in people. People are all ready to tear one another to pieces. When the money goes down the tubes, then the anger is going to break out. How many people will turn back to God at that point? That's the question. That's what it's all for. Big bad modern world does make sense. It's not senseless what God is allowing to happen, but are men going to make the right use of it? That's a completely different question.